Hey, it's Jay from Two Dudes Reviews, and today we're going to be cooking with the Hello Fresh menu. Just got this one. This is pistachio crusted chicken with onions and a cucumber jalapeno salsa. Looks delicious, doesn't it? I'm not a big quinoa fan. Did I say quinoa? Quinoa. Anyways, there's quinoa in there. I don't know about the quinoa. We're going to give it a whirl and see how this turns out with Hello Fresh. And I need somebody to give me a new hairdo or something. I think I slept on it wrong. I don't know. Directions said use a cup of water. My wife taught me that replace chicken broth with water if you want more flavorful food. So I did about a half a cup of water, half a cup of chicken broth, and then the folks at Hello Fresh set us up with a little thing of vegetable broth. It's like a dense vegetable. What do they call it? The stock concentrate, vegetable stock concentrate. So I threw that in there as well. So that's cooking. Going to cook for about 15 minutes. We're about 5 minutes into that right now. I have my prepared, greased, oiled cookie sheet, and that's going to be for the chicken that is currently over there. Still got to work on my vegetables, but that'll be one of the last things that we do while the chicken's cooking. Now, I got the one-sided chicken with the salt and pepper on it. Took the chicken out of the package, pat it dry, get some salt and pepper on, and now I'm going to transfer these over to my prepared baking sheet here. And I would love for one of my foodie friends to let me know, is there a better way to chop nuts? I mean, almonds are the worst, but pistachios, they're somewhat soft, but they ain't that easy. And I still had a couple of pieces as I was chopping down these pistachios, flying across the room like a BB from a BB gun. It was nutso, man. Maybe you've been there, who knows? A little bit of salt and pepper, something like that. Now I'm going to do a thin layer of mustard on the top here. And we've just got some Dijon mustard. They're so kind, they hook you up with a little Dijon too. Pretty much everything you could possibly need to make your meal, down to the little teeny tiny packets of Dijon mustard, are included with these home meal services. So I'm going to put a little bit of mustard on this chicken breast. And I'm going to put a little bit of mustard on this chicken breast. Doesn't look like enough mustard if you ask me. Personally, I kind of want more mustard. And I don't know if I got any Dijon mustard in the refrigerator. So maybe it'll have more Dijon mustard, maybe not. It says spread evenly a thin layer of mustard on top of the chicken. And I'm going to be pressing the pistachios down into the mustard. And I want to see if I got any extra mustard here in the refrigerator. Ah, bonus. Look at that. Safeway brand Organics Dijon mustard. So they didn't give me enough mustard, man. Disappointed in the amount of mustard I got. So mustard mix here. And I'm going to do something like that. Again, just for the sake of the video here, I'm just going to kind of use my hands. My hands are clean. I washed them beforehand. Smear that Dijon mustard into the top of the chicken here, something like that. On either side. It's also important to note that if you have a salt container like this, like a salt dish, you don't want the same hand that you're messing with chicken on to touch anything else. Certainly not the veggie cutting board that you're getting ready to work on. Once your hand touches the chicken, man, it's like, that's a chicken hand. All right, and then here are the pistachios. I had a little bag of pistachios. Chop those up. I'm just going to kind of throw those on here. Get a nice little pistachio crust. Something like this here. Got the oven preheating to 400 degrees for this particular recipe. And I get that on. And some of my other cooking friends. I know Andy, he's a pretty fast chef. Andy would probably be cursing my name right now going, God damn it, hurry it up. You need to move faster, 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 faster. Faster is not necessarily better, man. Sometimes, wow, look at that mess, huh? Okay, I'm going to go wash. That's why I'm using my other hand here. Throw that on there, something like that. Throwing this into the oven about 20 minutes or until the chicken is no longer pink in the middle. All right? I'm going to put this into the oven, and I'll show you what it looks like when we take it out. Okay, so the chicken is in the oven. It's still cooking. We got about 2 minutes on that. I'm going to work on the salad here. Now, this might not look pretty, but hey, it's not reality TV, right? We have our cherry tomatoes. They don't call them cherry tomatoes. They're calling them, what are they calling them? Grape tomatoes. Okay, grape tomatoes. We have our jalapeno, our lime. We did a zest of half of the lime. Big question, how in the hell do you get the zest out of the zester once you're zesting it? Because it doesn't just fall down to the bottom. It all sticks in the metal pieces. It was difficult to do. We have our shallot finely chopped. We have our mint leaf. And of course, like I said, that's the zested lime right there that I was able to get out. So we're taking this, we're taking our cucumber. I love cucumber. Now this is a Persian cucumber. I'm going to toss that Persian cucumber in there. Kind of look like a little bit bigger than a regular dill pickle. The cucumber, we're going to throw our tomatoes into the bowl here. Something like this here. We're going to throw our, the mint. We've got, looking at about 2 tablespoons mint here. I love mint. Between mint and basil, I think basil is my favorite herb ever. And then we got our diced shallot. We're going to toss that in there. We've got our lime zest. We're going to toss that in there. They say jalapeno to taste. Frankly, I'm a little bit of a wuss, so I'm only going to use maybe a little bit more than that. Maybe half of this jalapeno. Just in case. Maybe a little less than half. You can always add more, right? But once it's screwed up, you can't take it back. Pretty good. Looks pretty good. This will just take a second. We'll do one of these. Something like this here. Back on the board. And something like this here. And back on the board. There we go. All right. All right, so now we're at the part of the program where it's time to slice and plate this. So I'm just going to make some thin cuts on this chicken here, make sure that it's looking good. It's all done. It's cooked properly. I don't want to mess up much of that beautiful crust, but sometimes it's just a little difficult. Just makes it a little easier to eat if you do a pre-slice here so your mess isn't all over your plate. Maybe I should have just waited and done it like that. Who knows? Maybe I should use spatula, handy dandy spatula, to get this over here onto the plate. So we try and just get underneath it, slide it off right like so. Get up as much of that crust as I can. Here's our finished quinoa. The quinoa, we're going to throw a little bit of olive oil on the top of that, just to make sure it stays nice and moist, flavorful. And a little bit of sherry wine vinegar. So we got sherry vinegar. I'm not going to use it a lot, we're just going to use a tad. I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Fluff it, if you will. Because sometimes you can use a fork to do that. Toss this on the side. You can also use this kind of as a bed. It probably would have been better for me to just use this as a bed underneath my my chicken. I'm just going to kind of surround the chicken. Bad me, but hey man, I'm not a pro, right? I'm just a novice. And we're going to garnish it. A little salad up on top here. I say garnish. There is a garnish, technically. I'm going to top it with the salad. And this is a serving for 2, so I still have 1 more chicken breast and the rest of the salad right there. And here's our garnish. A beautiful mint leaf. We're just going to toss right there on the side. And there you go. All right? So what do you think? There's what they say. Here's what I say. What looks better? I think mine looks better, to be honest with you. And yeah, I should have put down the quinoa first and then put the chicken up on top of it. But I think mine looks better. Look at all those colors. Beautiful, huh? Hello Fresh. Let's do Dudes Reviews. Guys, for that abortion of a video. To be honest with you, I'm awkward as hell in the kitchen, man. I'm not a pro. I just do this for fun, and frankly, my wife's out of town right now in Texas, so I was bored. I figured, what the hell, I'd record this thing. I'd video it for you. If you've managed to stick around this long, God, you really got nothing else going on, do you? Feel free to click the subscribe thing that I hope is over here. Unless this flips around when I put it onto my computer, then it's going to be over here. Anyway, subscribe. Check out one of our other time-wasting videos. In my defense, this chicken with the quinoa stuff and the crust is unreal delicious. Bon appetit.